Headline, ladies and gentlemen, he's finally done it. All the talk, all the drama has ended. Because if you just watched what we all just watched at the historic YBW Revelation 6, the last show here in the backyard, the underground wrestling circuit, figuratively and literally, what has taken nearly 4+ years in the making has finally happened. Despite all he went through, in this match that we're going to talk about, as you can see how our guest is feeling, especially from those after effects, he's the one that showed who's the trailblazer. He's the one who showed it's his time that's now. And the guy that was once on top, well, his days are numbered. And let's just say he burned out as the YBW champion. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what's next. We'll talk about how the landscape has changed dramatically, not just in YBW, but in the backyard, the underground wrestling circuit. Plus, I might even have to drop a bar or two here. No, we're not going to do that on our guest. He's done too many of that already on his opponent and certainly everybody else out there. But another guy that won championship gold here to start the show off. And we'll even talk about a guy that he's related to that also holds championship gold that I know of from West Virginia. Yeah, we'll get into that. Maybe we'll even talk about his ATK, okay? And I guess he got, well, literally, figuratively, and literally hit marked on the wrist. And we'll talk about that, plus those shots on the back. But we are not going to give out any of those things. I do have something for our guest. It's not going to quite be the same as being an 8-time champion. I'm certainly going to try my best to do it 8-time, like I did in that video. But let's start this show off here in style on Sportzwire Radio, the #1 global radio station where all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters. And as well as this man who has helped build the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit, and also this platform into what it is today. Happy holidays, and God bless everybody out there watching. And I'm ready to rock and roll with this intro like we've never done here before. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, #1 global sports show. A man that is one of the greatest trailblazers, not just in backyard, underground, but in all of wrestling history. The now 8-time champion, the new YBW champion. His name is simply put the headline. And praise! The champ is here! My friend, how are we doing? And congratulations.
Thank you. I'm living the high life, La Vida Loca, man. It's been a while. But nevertheless, it's the same as any other reign I've had in the past. A new YBW World Heavyweight Champion, the main attraction, the top star, the best of the breakout brand, is back and in full swing. Couldn't feel any better.
And I want to bring this out here for the audience. I had to bring out the cheers for you. But
Serious.
yeah, that was funny. I tried to do
It's
it.
okay.
I know you came in during the my show earlier, and I actually did it for Courtney Wood, and I missed the timing. This one, I'm like, I'm gonna get this right. But my friend, it is so good to see you here, and I'm gonna ask that obvious question to kick things off. Because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform you and YBW have most certainly helped build, Sportswire Radio, the headline, Aaron Blaze, talk to me about how it feels to have finally won the YBW World Heavyweight Championship back.
It's overdue, Tom. It is long past overdue. It just hasn't been a whole reset to a 365 plus day journey. No, it's been an over 4 year journey for me. The last time I held this championship was June 27th of 2021 at Revelations 2. Earlier tonight was Revelation 6. 4 years later, it was either 1,645 days ago or 1,465 days ago, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, Tom, it's been a damn long time since I've last been on true trailblazing time. But now, a lot's changed since then. I've been to a lot more places. I've faced a whole bunch of people. I've been to this state, that state, and have continued to better myself in any shape or form. And now I once again take up the form, the mantle, the top spot as not just a champion in backyard and underground wrestling, but one of the top champions in underground and backyard wrestling.
Absolutely, no question about that. And 4.5 years ago, I was covering British wrestling on Facebook and how things change. But it's interesting that you just said a couple of minutes ago that it feels the same, but you've went through so much to get here. I've known you a while now, 2.5 years I've known you, and I've seen you in different places, a lot of different things. But in some way or another, this has to be sweet or even more sweeter than any of those prior wins, because even just this year to get back on top, injuries, dealing with Dominic, your best friend, Magnum Carter, what you went through there with him, and other places that you went to. I mean, I know you said differently, but in some way or another, it has to feel more satisfying tonight winning this championship than your prior 7 wins.
Absolutely. And the journey to make it to this result has been bittersweet. But at the same time, I love every and any aspect of it because I feel like in the past, when it has come to this championship, aside from takeovers and aside from any other angle you could think of, I didn't really earn it. Hell, the way I went about getting this match last year, I didn't really earn it. But this year, as you said, trying to work my way back up, trying to destroy the very monster in a way I somehow created. Fighting my own best friend, dealing with my knee injury still to this day. I'll be damned if anybody says that I didn't earn it. Because I did. This time I did. Undoubtedly. The real reality is that this time I earned it and I was ready for it. And I took back what belongs to me and what belongs to the people. Because for over 490 something days, however long the other guy was champion for, it was slowly killing any credibility to this championship and to the very company logo that it's bolted on. No, I needed to save it. And it had to be me. I started it, and now I finished it. Burnout, 1, 2, 3, 8 time Trailblazer is the way it's got to be.
That's exactly right. And I put the footage up because I wanted to talk about the match and how many times, I was in the chat and I see some people that were in the chat also with me. We were all watching it together. And there was, I think I counted like 5 or 6 different occasions that I thought Dom was going to put you away. And was there ever a point in the match where you thought, you know what? I don't know how much I got left in me, and maybe there was a doubt or two during the match. And do you have a thought or two on that?
See, after Anarchy Sanctum, I believed that I wasn't going to even make it a rev. But then I talked to my doctor, and he not only cleared me, he told me, go kick his ass. And it's something that I knew I not only had to do, but knew that I was capable of doing because I've been saying it for well over the past year. When it's one on one and when I am fully locked in, Dominic can't put me down. He had a cop out at Revelations last year. He had another one at Rampage. He pinned Magnum Carter in the triple threat at Bloodthirsty. But when it's one on one, you see what happens. I tapped him out at Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and tonight I beat him. Like I knew I was always capable of doing.
No, you
Enough
definitely
said.
did that. Yeah, no, you definitely did that, and you, well, let's just say, burned out his run as the YBW champion. And you need to go out there and hit the sub button for me when it comes to YBW and all the great content that they provided us here on Sportswire. We really appreciate them, and I hope that you'll appreciate them as much as I have by hitting the sub button for them. Or if you've hit the sub button for them already on YouTube, have your friends, have their friends and their friends, and let's support those who supported us, and also watch the show Revelation 6. And hope that you do that. I'll get to everybody here in the chat shortly. But that's a good point that you made, because you were here on Sportswire last and you did talk about that. You were going to do whatever it took. You basically all but guaranteed victory here. I mean, was there pressure after what you just spoke about and what you went through here in the I know you're the trailblazer. I've known you. I know you've been to so many places. I saw it in the video package. Very well done. But
Thank
was there pressure in any shape or form? Because we did talk about this previously when Dom was here last month. We spoke about it. I mean, if you didn't win here, I mean, this was it. And it was mentioned during the telecast. I mean, there had to have been some pressure, though, no?
No, there was absolutely pressure heading into this match, but when the match took place, it was nothing compared to the pressure I was willing to apply to not just Dominic, but my own physical health. I was willing to push myself to the absolute limit. He, not in a match, obviously, but he tapped me out last month to try and send a message that
Yep.
that is what he was
He
aiming to
attacked you
do.
after your match. Yep. Yep.
And then he tried over and over again, but he couldn't tap me out. He tried over and over again to lay me out to pin me, and I just kept kicking out. Some of it was off of instinct, some of it was just adrenaline, whatever you want to call it, but I couldn't allow my body to give up on me. I needed to make Dominic give up, to keep fighting until he couldn't fight anymore. And as you saw, it took one burnout, and that was it.
That's such an interesting point that you made, because I was in the chat, and one of the things I had said in the chat, and I see a few others were in the chat, I felt that Dom, it had to be weighing on him as the match continued to win on, because he couldn't put you away. There was at least 5 different occasions that you referenced where it seemed like the match was going to be over. 1, 2, and yet he couldn't get that 3. And I think as the match went on, I think it was in Dom's head, like you said, one-on-one, that he couldn't get the job done. He couldn't beat you. And, he has certainly defied the odds time and time again, but that's the past. But here tonight at the historic Revelation 6, I think as the match went on and he could not get that 3 count, the pressure certainly turned the tables on him, and it, I think, weighed on him, and it gave you that opportunity where it was just one burnout, and you're about to get that championship you've waited 4.5 years for.
Absolutely. And he kept resorting to his cheap tricks, even though he had no one by his side, and that didn't work. He tried throwing out moves from people who have beaten me and gotten big victories over me to try and get in my head, and that didn't work. But at the end of the day, it was nothing compared to me drilling my knee into his skull and then stomping on the back of his head. And I could tell when he had me up and he was setting up for one more razor blade, he was frustrated. He was getting all up in my face, ticking me off. He was like, "You think you're gonna beat me? Ha ha, blah, 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 blah," running his mouth like he always does. But this time, he could not follow through. He couldn't
Nah,
finish the
so
job.
no, listen, you know what? There's that's the evidence right here, and I'm gonna show it back here because this was emotional. I know you've been here before. You've held championships in other companies. I got that. You've been to other places. You've certainly been a guy that has been a headline. You've been a trailblazer, but I
Oh,
see
yeah.
the emotions on your face. You have to talk to me about this moment when you finally get that YBW championship and that emotions just start to pour out.
I think it doesn't just stem from the journey it's taken me to get back to this championship. I think it has to more so revolve around the year I've had in and outside of YBW. There was a lot of things that I was supposed to do this year that just didn't come into light because of some darkness I was dealing with, especially the knee injury. And then you have the places I did go to and things fell flat. I'm going to let people drop their own conclusions.
Right.
And I just feel like a handful of times throughout the years, my progress, for one reason or another, has been slowed. It's been stopped. It's been paused. It's been negated from where it was supposed to be. But winning this championship and the story that was told, I feel like this was my big break. This was my final chance to show people what I am capable of doing. And for the people that want to label me as less than, I showed them that I'm greater than that. And that I am, whether you like it or not, one of the greats in this
No, there's
journey.
no question that you have definitely traveled to places that very few people, if any at all, have gone to, and winning this championship. That's why I said it at the top of the show. I think it has to be more satisfying, has to be more rewarding than the other wins because of what you went through. We know the injuries, we know the different places, things that could have been, but there it is. And if you are out there, I do want to put the YBW link so people can join the conversation, support YBW. The guys are almost at 1,700 subscribers. So I'd really appreciate that very much.
Hey,
Let's get them. Yes, get them 1, 2, 3. Every single one adds up. Listen, you know you've gotten me about the same number. Please help them and give them some extra subs. They're doing a great job out there. So many of the guys come on here, and especially our guest here right now, which actually I'm going to do it right away because I know I don't have you as much time as I usually do because after all, what you went through and what the rest of the locker room went through, I know was certainly a lot here. That's why I want to share my screen and do something extra here. I know you've been here countless times and gotten many
uh,
awards and many things. I know, but you know what? I got to do it here because
I
I
always
got
love
the
it.
right moment. And for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, we've put you back in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame yet again for now being an 8-time champion. So we had to do it. I mean, just had to. And we'll give you this copy. I know you've gotten countless things of these in of the past
Oh,
year,
I love
years.
it. I love it.
Well,
Thank
we
you.
love having you on Sportswire, and I certainly love to see you do well. And definitely, it's not about the journey. It's how you got there, and you have
Absolutely.
gotten there, and you're on top. And congratulations. And I know people are here in the chat, but I understand there is someone else that wants to come on here and talk about a championship that they've won, and somebody that you have quite a history with. And I gotta bring them up because I don't have the usual time with you tonight. So I gotta, do it all one shot. And certainly we're gonna drop a bar or two because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. Wait a minute. The MC of the 1, 2, 3. Smoke him if you got him. There he is. The new YBW Hardcore Champion, Magnum Carter. My friend, happy holidays. And how are we doing?
I am doing, I don't know how fantastically I can put it. I'm not a drinker. I'm celebrating tonight.
I wasn't gonna say
You know
anything.
what you guys did here tonight. You can do whatever you want. I mean, listen, we're not going to judge you guys after what you guys did to your opponents. I certainly don't want to turn into those opponents of yours. So we understand, and congratulations, first of all, Mr. Magnum Carter.
Thank you. And if I may say, I got my comeuppance on Damian Hunter because he was the reason I lost it, and then he's the reason I won it again.
Hey, you know what? The irony of that. I mean, the irony, and 4 months later, and I guess I got to talk to you, obviously, with the question that people would like me to answer to start. Magnum Carter, how does it feel now, once again, to be the YBW Hardcore Champion?
No disrespect to you, Blaze, but this time I feel like I earned it. In a fatal four-way where anything could have happened, anyone could have been pinned.
Okay,
I am the one. Weird. I'm the one who won. I'm the one who pinned the one who pinned me. And it feels so good. I really don't know how to speak about it without my tongue being all twisted. It's something that I've wanted to do. Now I can say I am a 2-time breakout champion and a 2-time hardcore champion. And I earned this time.
But also what you guys went through, right? Think about, we were here last month and what you went through and what this man did to you, but yet you found a way, you got back up, and you're here, and you're also here on the same screen with this man. I just think, to me, that's so fascinating what you, especially Magnum Carter, have went through. I know Aaron, we talked a lot about his journey. Everybody knows Aaron Blaze's journey outside of YBW. I got that. But you, especially Magnum Carter, these last few months, and even last month when we were here, what happened between you two? But yet you are here. You were able to pick yourself up figuratively and literally off that mat. And now you have championship gold once again.
And it feels great to be wearing this strap around my shoulder. As I know, it probably feels a lot better for Mr. Aaron Blaze up in the corner. I know he's really emotional right now. It's been a hell of a long time since he's held the championship, especially the YBW World Heavyweight Championship, the championship that he defined, that he made to define the best of the best, in the not just YBW, but the best of the backyard and underground community. He is the pinnacle. He is the sentiment. He is the all-natural Aaron Blaze.
All
And
natural. You are dropping
all
bars.
natural.
All natural.
Naturally talented.
I was going to say, we didn't know that you were using performance-enhancing growth hormones or some steroid there. I didn't know that was a thing, but we're glad you're natural. I mean, we're very happy that you're not an AI Aaron Blaze. I mean, I know, some people
naturally talented.
Yeah, because it's funny. I get on all these bands, and I had the producer for the band Tool and Rush, and we were talking about AI in music, and I didn't realize Aaron Blaze was now being AI generated here on Sportzwire. I didn't know that had gone into that discussion, but we got the point though, Magnum. But I mean, it's got to feel good though, also for you, because we know the circumstances in the summer when you had the hardcore championship, but now you earned it. Now you won it. And this is for you got to be so much more rewarding than that first time you won the hardcore championship, I would think.
Oh, it's a lot more rewarding. There's definitely a target painted on my back now, more than it was on my birthday. Because now there is no briefcase to be cashed in. But at the same exact time, I'm not just going to sit back and relax. Because if anything, this last month has proven Magnum Carter does not know the word relax. He does not know how to stay down. He knows how to get up. He knows how to fight, and he knows how to take a beating. So I'm going to do what I did with the Breakouts Championship. I want to fight. I want to defend. I want to make everybody else earn it.
You want everybody else to earn it. Well, I mean, you've obviously picked up that, and we put the footage up here because I'm going to share my screen once again here in a minute, and I'm going to do that shortly. But there it is, that moment where you get that hardcore championship, and obviously a good feeling. And I know some other people here that want to talk to you guys. I'm going to give them that opportunity, but you get that moment that you've long waited for, and it's been 4+ months in the making, and we see it all unfold shortly. And again, please go out there and watch the footage from the historic Revelation 6. I mean, we had what do we have, guys? Almost 20 people in the chat at one point during the main event. I mean, we had a lot of people in the chat. It was great to see. I love seeing that. And thank you for your support of YBW. Thank you for being here with us, and please join me in supporting YBW. Yeah, that's going to leave a mark. Not quite what happened with ATK and TAC, but nevertheless, I mean, still definitely.
Don't even get me started on that.
That was a literal bloodbath.
You know, literally, I mean, I wonder if ATK, and I know he's also been a lot of places, but I don't know if he had ever lost as much blood in his entire life compared to what we just saw between he and TAC. I mean, seriously.
I'm surprised you actually got to keep pointing from that. He
rough.
Should be a contender for
also,
the hardcore.
While I have a quick second,
yes, sure.
I cannot hear Carter at all. I don't know why. Because on my end, I cannot hear Carter at all. Like, he's mouthing.
If you're here in the chat, let me know if you hear Magnum Carter or not. If you're here,
no, like I have my computer right next to me just in case.
Okay. You can hear me.
I can hear him on my end, but I don't know. Carter, can you?
Yeah, if you're in the chat, let me know if
I can hear you. I can. Yes.
He can.
He says that he can hear you. He says he can hear you.
All right, it's probably just me. All right.
I don't know. Well, I asked the chat. If you're in the chat, okay. Trevor said he can hear Magnum.
They can hear Carter. Can they hear me? Well, I'm pretty sure that they can hear me, but I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, I think people can hear you because we've got people commenting left and right as usual. But yeah,
what is
Aaron Blaze having technical difficulties is not unnatural.
I swear.
Well, you know what? While we figure this out, I'm going to share my screen because I need to do it, and especially for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. Magnum Carter, you go into the Hall of Fame again. This time,
second time.
I'm going to do it a second time because you know what? I did it for Aaron once. I mean, if I don't just do it for you, I almost feel like I'm not in the holiday spirit. I feel like that would just be defeating the purpose, you know? I mean, I got to give you something, especially because, you know, Magnum Carter, I got to ask it to you because from my understanding, I was on here Friday. There's this guy. He's a rare bird, apparently. His name is Chris Phoenix, and he's one half of the WVWF Tag Team Champions, cease and desist. And all of a sudden, for whatever reason, he dropped a bar and told us about how you and him are related. And I was wondering, I mean, you want to say anything right now to your cousin, also a championship holder and the one and only rare bird, Chris Phoenix?
Well, if I may say to Chris Phoenix and everybody else who doesn't know about this story, we're not just cousins. We kind of grew up together. He never gave off the vibe that he liked to wrestle. Of course, he liked to watch it.
He's a rare bird, obviously.
He's probably just like Aaron Blaze. He is an all-natural talent. He can do it because he wants to do it. If he wants to do it, he's going to do it. As his tag team partner said during that clip I was tagged in, it runs in the family.
Yeah.
It's blood. And it doesn't matter if he was really into wrestling when he was younger or not. Yeah, we watched it, but he never gave me the impression that he wanted to do it. I'm actually really happy that he does
Yeah.
because he can do some really impressive stuff. I've watched some of his stuff. We've talked about it. We've tried to communicate more about what we can do together in the ring, but that's only for like sparring matches and helping each other train and get better. We weren't talking about anything like professional or doing like an actual match. I would love that. That would be nice to happen way down the road. But right now, YBW is my career, is my main focus. Sure, I might pop up other places, have a little fun doing it there, doing it here. But YBW is where I grew. YBW is my home. And I will say it week in, week out, every breath until my very last. The man in the corner, the brand new YBW World Heavyweight Champion, is the reason I take the breath for YBW. He is the reason I am Magnum Carter, and he is the absolute reason I am now the new YBW Hardcore Champion. He put a fire back in me during our match at Anarchy Sanctum 5. I didn't want to give up. His passion for what he does and what he believes in, his new title, the title he built, the title he made, the title he made relevant again after 490 days. He is the reason. He is the absolute reason I am Magnum Carter.
I couldn't agree more. I definitely would love to see more of you in YBW, as we all do. And, certainly the apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to the fire that you have, like the Rare Bird. And of course, you wouldn't have known that the Rare Bird was going to be a wrestler because he's a Rare Bird after all. We were talking on Friday's show. Hopefully, we don't see him on the endangered species list, but we'll leave that joke for later. Let's get to the chat because you guys have had a long night, and I want to get to a couple of other things before we sign off. Zilla's here first. Zilla had joined us in the main event during the chat. So thank you, Zilla, for being here. Congratulations. She guesses. What do you mean she guesses? He's the champ.
I don't know. She's a super fan of Dominic or something. I don't understand.
Yeah.
How.
The only fan of Dominic.
No, I mean, there's Dom fans out there. You guys have a lot of fans. I mean, I won't go into that degree. Thank you, management, for being here. Hello, and thank you, Zilla. I think Trevor, who was here in the chat earlier in the show. How you doing? The champ is here.
Which one?
Well, you weren't here first. He was going with Aaron, but he may have said hello.
Yeah.
I got a lot of comments. Speaking of people that are here, and obviously they're they're just doing. That is the hit marker ATK, and and I got to show that footage here for everybody.
Do we have to?
No, I'm not going to show the chair, but I am going to show his Instagram post. At the very least, I got to do.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I got to do that, and there it is. You can see from his admitted date. It's been a long time, and there it is. But obviously, he was definitely marked. In the medical update, is he needed 9 stitches, and glad that he got taken to ER, and hopefully we'll see him back out there. Thank you to the hit marker who's typing this with stitches still. He's home from the ER, thank God. Yes, congratulations. Also, Dalton Skull, who was competing yesterday out there in the Indies, wanted to give some eyeballs. Thank you, Dalton. Ox McCoy's in the house. How you doing, Ox? Jason was here in the chat earlier for Revelation 6, and he wanted to say hello. Torrance Banks wanted to say congratulations. Thank you, Torrance Banks. Dalton did also want to point out you were a BYCW world champion. Yes.
The first outsider to win it, by the way.
Yes. I think we mentioned that here on a previous episode or two. Dalton and I speak on a regular basis, and we hope to see him back on in 2026 because we've been trying to get him on for a while. Yes. Hello to the hit marker ATK. Another person that was here in the chat earlier tonight for the show wanted to say congratulations. Aaron Blaze is my favorite backyard wrestler. Well, that's for good reasons. That's why he's back on top, and that's a great choice. Congratulations, if ATK is saying you earned it, boy. I mean, this is almost a truce for a minute between you two. A legit truce. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe the killer from the bad back. I don't know.
Who knows? The beating you gave Dom was was tough. We'll leave those acronyms at bay. Also, you definitely did. You deserve it. Yes, we agree. I just hope you understand that it's not over between me and your cousin. Well, I mean, by the way, he's
That's
undefeated. I mean, he's got the streak. I mean, right now, at this point, I'm not touching anything with Tack and Revelations. Just, I mean, that's just unfortunately. And, we saw the poll. Everyone seemed to have favored heavily ATK, but you just can't. You can't stop somebody like Tack who's undefeated in these matches. You just can't do it.
no,
Can't do it.
especially when Texas Deathmatch isn't even his thing, and he
And
still
and we
found a
saw.
way to do it.
Listen, I mean, listen. Yeah, definitely tread very lightly, and I'm glad that we made the point during the show is do not try this at home if you're out there. Do not try this at home between your match, Magnum Carter and Tax and ATKs in the Texas Death Match. Do not try those at home. Scars will be his forgiveness. Well, hopefully your back is forgiven. Not gonna lie, I was hoping Aaron was gonna hit the burnout for the second time, but it didn't. It didn't take that. It didn't take it. I mean, it's just the reality. Reality was that it was going to be the end. I hated the low blow on you. Yeah, I mean, there was a few times, like I said in the match, that I thought that that Dom was going to get you. He had you, and he was going to eat you up like he always has, and he recovered off the strong start. You got off to a strong start in the match, and yeah, the low blow was definitely uncalled for. Please hit the sub button for YBW. Please support the guys. Gonna keep saying you deserve it. Absolutely. I mean, after what you went through this year in different places, different things, injuries, this was definitely a different ending for you, unlike last year. Well, last year we thought you were going to win the championship, but this year it was different. Congratulations to Magnum Carter there, Zilla. Congratulations, boy. And Magnum Carter, what about it to ATK? You got your own history with him here, but he says congratulations.
Well, the history between me and him, in a weird kind of way, I also have to kind of thank ATK for who I am today.
God.
But it's history. It's water under the bridge. And I don't want to burn down bridges I'm trying to cross.
That's a great idea. And speaking to people, though, that have a comment, and they're not going to take this idly, that is the man that was the YBW champion for nearly 500 days, Dominic. And reality is it's not over yet. And I'll come back. I mean, he'll eventually have a rematch in his clause. He'll be able to, I'm sure, invoke that rematch clause at some point. I mean, what do you think about that? Dom is saying it's not over.
It is over. Let it go. We just got views. We just started getting views back tonight, and he already wants to ruin that for us. No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
He
Work
is,
on your promo
if I can
skills.
relay Dom to anything, he is the John Moxley to our world championship division. If you know, you know. It's not a good thing.
I got the reference. I got the reference in terms of how people feel about him as a champion. I got it. But Dom says he's just not going to give up, and that's his right. I see it. And Ox wanted to say I'm the table, and also wanted to say LOL. Thank you, Ox. And I'm still on the side. And Zilla's now Team Dominic still. She's still Team Dom. Zilla is a wild.
So let me get this straight. Magnum Carter earns it. Congratulations to him. Dominic is still the world champion, even though he lost. Congratulations, Aaron Blaze. I guess. Like, well, come on.
Well, it makes you feel better. Earlier today, when we had Courtney here, she was talking about how she had loved the draw when we had on Dave Jameson in the chat and others who hate the draw, and they were giving their reasons. Zilla goes her own way. She's definitely a maverick. I'll say Zilla is a maverick. She has her. It's funny. I'll make you both laugh real quick. I had on a college soccer coach a week and a half ago, Jeff Litwin. She was here in the chat, and Coach Litwin said, Zilla, she follows she seems to know everything. And I said, yeah, he said she's opinionated. I said, she's the most opinionated person we have in the chat every show. So even the football coaches and the soccer coaches notice. Yeah, he's definitely here still, but we'll see how he feels coming up here in 2026. I can hear him. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for that. Congratulations, Magnum, going into the Hall of Fame once again. We appreciate you guys. And also, Zilla is a big fan of Dom. What's wrong with me being a fan of Dominic? See?
I can list several things that are wrong with being a fan of Dominic.
Well, Dom's here in the chat, though. I mean, Dom, and I did say, guys, Dom does have his fans, and Zilla's one of those Dom fans. He was champion for almost 500 days. I mean, there are going to be some people. You guys have a lot of fans out there. You guys
want to know what people are going to remember the most, and it's the same thing I said last month, Tom.
What?
Who ended that amount of days?
You did it. Now listen, 4.5 years in the making, you finally reclaimed the YBW championship. Thank you, Nate, for joining us. Nate, I appreciate you. If you're here, hit the sub button for YBW. I'm sure you have already. Hit the sub button for us here on Sportzwire Radio. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. And actually, before I know you guys are going to run, but I'm going to let you guys have a few more things I want to ask. But I want to make the announcement here because I feel like you guys deserve this one. And I hope people who are here tonight will tune into it later in the week because my first guest of 2026 coming up here New Year's Day, 7 o'clock Eastern time, is a guy that played guitar for somebody that everybody knows as the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. Everybody knows Ozzy and the Osbournes and all this. And I have on the guy that played guitar for Ozzy Osbourne for nearly a decade. And that is the one and only Mr. Gus G. So Gus G is here. He's the first guest of 2026. So I really hope that you guys like that. I wanted to give you guys that announcement here. And yeah, it's a big deal. And I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everybody in the chat, all the wrestlers, all the wrestling companies, because we got the guy that played guitar with Ozzy and played on one of his albums, Scream. So Gus G will be here, and I hope you'll tune into it 7 o'clock New Year's Day. The one and only Gus G played for guitar for the one and only Prince of Darkness, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. He'll be here, and he'll talk about Ozzy and, you know, all that stuff. So I hope you join me. Thank you guys for your support. And Johnny Velocity is here, and thank you, Johnny. And yes, and sooner rather than later, I think you'll have to get your brother's old band on here. But we'll leave that for another time. All right, I know you guys got to run here soon. It's been a long night, but I got to ask you though. Now that you guys have won these championships, what's next?
Go ahead. I'm not going to be able to hear you anyway, but go ahead.
All right, I was kind of I was waiting for that. Okay. I've already explained what I want to do next. I want to be a fighting champion. I want to hold open challenges. I want to be able to throw my hand in the ring just to fight people I've never fought in before, people I haven't beaten before, people I've never thought I'd square up with before. And I'm a round guy, so seeing those corners kind of makes me a little excited. So I want to fight. And this is the man up here who can make that happen. He made it happen to get this. He made it happen for when we fought, which to this date, despite everything else I've been through, the hard stuff, the struggles, the mental stabilities, struggles I've been going through, life in general. Me and Aaron Blaze and Aaron Sanctum 5, even though I lost, has to be my best match to date. And that was for a championship. Not as prestigious as his championship, but this championship is still prestigious nonetheless, with all the history and backlogs it has to it. And I want to keep that history going with my name on the title. I want Magnum Carter to make history as the YBW Hardcore Champion. Not just because it was handed to me this time, but because I earned it, and I'm going to keep earning it and growing its prestige.
I'm excited for that, and I'm happy that this time you won the championship, you earned it, and I think in 2026 we're going to see a lot more of you as the hardcore champion. Obviously, Aaron Blaze, you are the headline. You're back on top, but I got to ask you, 2026 right around the corner. What's next?
See, now, I knew that I wanted to get back to this championship because I feel like I couldn't move on in any shape or form with my career without it. Because this was just one obstacle, one challenge that I had to overcome, that I had to hurdle. And now that I have, and that I'm back on top of the world, I can now go around and conquer the world. And for the first time ever, I'm going to do it as the YBW World Heavyweight Champion. The last time I held this championship and I went from this place to that place and made my mark was 4 years ago. Ironic, it all stems back to 4 years ago. But 2026, since it wasn't what I wanted for 2025, 2026 is going to be a year that I remember forever. So, what does that mean? It means this championship goes with me. This championship goes with me when I return back to ROEW. This championship goes with me when I go back to my next season for DBW. This championship is going to go with me wherever I decide to go. And maybe you'll see some defenses here, you'll see some defenses there, but I'm going to put this championship on the map, in and outside of YBW. And as for my first matchup with this championship, gee, I don't know, Tom. I mean, I'm praying that Dominic just stays away for the rest of our lives and just locks himself back in that little hole that he crawled out of. But I do know that eventually the little troll is going to want to get fed. And my message is, if you want to come and get it, you know where I'll be. But in the meantime, I want to replay some greatest hits. I want to have a run for people in the past that have given me a run for their money. I still want new stars to step up too, don't get me wrong. But I want to see just how much time has changed. And if time does or doesn't apply to me at this stage in my career. Because we've
Mm.
all have changed throughout all the years. And I want those same people that were stepping stones back in the day, that are mainstays now, to come and face me for this.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I'm glad you brought up DBW because Friday afternoon, speaking of DBW, speaking of individuals who have the nickname Blaze, the Blaze Ace Christian is here live, 4:30 Eastern time, and I'll be sure to remind the Blaze Ace Christian of that and the next season of DBW that's ahead, and eventually we'll see some DBW shows eventually released. And we had Colton Lee
Yeah,
on
that's
last Sunday. Eventually they'll get released, and eventually we'll talk about them, and we'll have to see it. You know, well, I'll ask Ace about that and other things, and ROBW. Yes, you mentioned ROBW. Johnny was here, and we know that ROBW season will begin in a couple of months, and it's right around the corner. And I hope that you support the guys there. And before we move on, hit the sub button for YBW on YouTube. And Trevor said Aaron is the better Blaze. I mean, definitely right now. I mean, you've got that championship. You have that championship, and I'll tell you what, Maxwell Reeves doesn't have that championship. He don't
oh,
have
I'm
it.
glad you brought him up. Oh, I'm gonna
Oh,
put
I
my
wasn't gonna let that slide. He was here Tuesday. I wasn't gonna let that slide. I saw him in ATK going back and forth. I saw him here, and I saw what was said on Tuesday's show.
Indeed, you're not going to let that slide, Tom, and I'm going to
No.
slide right into that conversation, even though it's really not my business. I kind of had to agree with Max on a couple things he said. I mean, I kicked this guy in the head last month to get one more crack at this because I knew that I could do it. So if anyone knows about doing what you got to do to make an impact, to make a name and build and keep a legacy intact, it's me. But I agreed with him on everything he said until he said, what was something stupid that he said. Never mind. There were a lot of stupid things that came out of that kid's mouth.
Well, he talked
Everything
about
was stupid.
YBW being the place that, and he talked about his place in all of wrestling, and then he talked about his own career and what he's done, and anybody had to come in to prove it in his place. And
See,
then he mentioned,
that's that part. That part is what
and
annoyed
he
me
mentioned a
more.
guy that you've been in the ring with, a guy that he beat named Chase Wakefield.
Yeah, he beat Wakefield, and I didn't. But you want to know something
What?
I've done that Max hasn't done? Uh, Max has never been a multiple-time world champion. He has never traveled all the way across the country. Max has never been in the ring or on the trampoline with remotely half the people that I face. See, Max can believe that he is the front man of backyard and underground wrestling. But the truth is, I built the foundation, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, for guys like Max in backyard and underground wrestling. Because think about it, Tom. Think about it. I said it in the comments, I've mentioned it a time or two. I was the first person of any substance to figure out what a BCW was. I was in their comment section and calling them out and getting them over for years, long before they even hit 1,000 subs. Barely
It
had
all happened in
100.
the last year. Listen, when Maxwell came, I'm glad you said that, because when Maxwell first came to Sportswire Labor Day last year, BCW was still not even at 500 subscribers.
I helped pave the way for them. I feel like I've inspired them. The same way I've inspired Jason Parker. The same way I've inspired Magnum Carter. The same way I've inspired Abram Storm. Even a lot of veterans. I really feel like I'm the perfect instrument of union for backyard and underground wrestling because no one really brings it together like me. I feel like I'm the new Jack Delta in a way. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I'm bringing this person out into the spotlight. I'm giving this person the time of day. I'm handing this group of kids 15 minutes of fame. And then all of a sudden they blow up. All of a sudden there's a wildfire just burning up with relevancy and views and subs and talk of the town and notoriety. It all starts with me, Tom. So I feel like Max, he might be putting on a front, but I'm the man that he kind of owes a thank you to.
And he's in your state. See, it's different when you mention some
See,
of
and
these
I'm
other
glad you
places.
you phrased it perfectly. He's in my state, a state that was put on the map because of me, because of the company that I founded, because of the almost 8 year legacy that I built with this championship, with that championship, with another championship, and all the matches and all the moments that I've made along the way. See, they might have more subs. We might have more views. I might have more experience, but there's only one way to test who really puts on the best front for the community, man. And it's a headline, it's a trailblazing traveler. And I feel, honest to God, for years, Max has been ducking me.
Well, I mean, Chase Wakefield comes to him, but he didn't come and ask Aaron Blaze. I mean, Chase Wakefield, a man that Maxwell Reeves said here on this platform that this platform was
Yeah,
responsible for.
all
But
love.
yet you have this long history. You guys are in the same backyard, literally the same
Actually, yeah.
backyard, and yet this hasn't happened.
It's just funny. I mean, he hits up a guy who's, no offense to Chase, 50 pounds soaking wet, but not against a veteran who's been in the game just as long as Wakefield and barely lost to Wakefield, might I add. But I digress. 2026 is filled with a lot of possibilities. I've got all love and respect for Max, but the clock's ticking to see if he can hang with the headline.
Well, I'll tell you
Clock's
what,
ticking.
ladies and gentlemen, before we sign off, I, for one, would love to see as a New Year's resolution, because New Year's resolutions are now a thing starting tomorrow. In 2026, we see a match. Is it the Battle of Pennsylvania? Is it the Battle of Backyard Supremacy? Is it the battle of who's the better frontman? But I, for one, would love to see Maxwell Reeves and Aaron Blaze. Boy, that would be quite a headline to see who once and for all is the best frontman in all of backyard wrestling.
It's me. It's me. You know it, baby. It's me.
I would love to find, and I know Mr. Reeves, from my understanding, is going to be back on here next month. He has already requested a microphone. He'll certainly be, I am sure, going to have that mic, and he's going to certainly sing a few tunes. He's going to certainly belt out a few. He even did to open the show here on Tuesday, and he did his best rendition of Nat King Cole, and I'm going to certainly remind him of this tune that you sang tonight, and I'll see what his response and what he can write, and we'll see what happens when the pen turns to paper and what he can bring out. And we'll see if it's a hit. We'll see if he'll create a headline. But for one, I know I'm speaking for many, but the match that must be a New Year's resolution for in 2026 is Maxwell Reeves, Aaron Blaze, and the guys don't even have to leave the state. You don't have to go to Tennessee. You don't have to go to Michigan, Oregon, wherever else you've been. It's right here, right in the backyard of the Keystone State. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll certainly keep an eye on it. I know you guys got to run. It's been a long evening.
Okay.
Is there anything else you both want to say before we get to closing thoughts?
I want everyone to have a good new year. I want everyone to start fresh. I want everyone to really think about what they want for this new year and how it's going to go and what you can do to achieve those goals. When it comes to being the better part of you, you need to know who you want to be and what you want to do.
That's well said. No, that's definitely well said. And also, before we get to Aaron, just so everyone knows, Aaron Blaze was the first person to ever reach out to us in DKW, but we still have never met. Now I'm the ROEW Prestige Champion, and you're a champion. We should dance before I'm done. And he's done in the summer. He's done in the summer of next year, and that clock is ticking there. It's another guy. You said you're coming back to ROEW, and listen, ROEW, the guys have been on here. I know you were here in the chat for that, and they're going to be back here when the weather warms up, and that's not too far around the corner. So, I mean, I'll put that on my list, and Johnny will be here with some of the guys here in the EWA on Saturday. So I'm sure I'll remind him of that.
You know, there are just so many things I want to do. There's so many championships to win, so many dream matches to have, a lot of people to beat. But regardless, it's going to bring this community closer together. It's going to put people on the map. It's going to help elevate me, especially, to an upper echelon. And what can I say except you're welcome?
Well, I think, ladies and gentlemen, that's another reason why you need to follow and support YBW here before we sign off. If you're out there on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the sub button for them. Also follow them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. They have a TeePublic store. You can still get some discounts. One more holiday gift. You have a late Christmas gift card, holiday gift card you want to spend on. Great way to do that. Get that new shirt from Aaron Blaze. Get that shirt from Magnum Carter. Whatever it is that you want, go out there and support YBW. And we want to wish everybody a very happy new year. Obviously, want everybody to be safe. And I want to thank YBW. I want to thank all the wrestlers that are here in the chat, because again, we have the opportunity to speak with the one and only Gus G, who played with that guy everybody knows, Ozzy Osbourne. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the guys here, and I'll be here one more time for my last live tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. with the guys from the TF Crew Caster. So we'll see what they have to say. But fellas, I know you guys want to run and celebrate for the rest of your evening. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you guys next month. A lot to talk about, I'm sure. Congratulations on getting your guys get back and giving yourself this opportunity to do so much for the community, but also, getting your get backs and getting that late Christmas gift. And thank you guys so much. Congratulations. The best is yet to come, and Happy New Year. And we'll see you guys next month.
The champs
Or here.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. The Golden Guns certainly showed why that they're out in full force. That is the brand new YBW Hardcore Champion Magnum Carter, who won it to kick off the show here in the historic Revelation 6, and also the man that, listen, he's definitely made some headlines here tonight, and I really am excited to see what he does in YBW and elsewhere. That is the now 8-time Trailblazer, the one and only Aaron Blaze, who's back on top here after ending Dominic's throne as the YBW champion for
Views
5
are back.
days.
Views are back.
Well, he's at the back of the line here, and we'll certainly see. But Dom did say he's not done.
Hack.
We'll have to find out.
Dominic who exactly?
That's for 2026. And until then, we'll let these guys celebrate. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. If you're out there on Sportzwire Radio, hit the sub button for us. Hit the sub button for YBW. Follow them. And we'll be back here tomorrow at 8:30 with Castor, the TF Crew. And we're very excited for the Syndicate Siege. We're sponsors of the show. And I look forward to that. But there's the belt. Those are the prettiest belts. And you look at them one more time. And thank you, everybody, for being here with us. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio, into the Sportzwire Radio, where all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you.